We're going to sample writing on a couple of different materials. We've got a Write in the Rain notebook, a regular paper notebook. We have some Write in the Rain and regular paper for comparison there that we'll do wet. And then on 8.5 by 11s we have a sheet of National Geographic Adventure paper, and then some Write in the Rain all-weather copy paper. And these are both the type of 8.5 by 11 sheets that are designed to go through a printer and then become a waterproof writing that won't smear. So we're going to make sure that these pens can and will write on these different types of writing surfaces. Starting out with the Surefire, we'll go to the small Write in the Rain notebook. A little big in the hand. I've been using this one for a while, so I'm familiar with it. It's a lot to hold on to down here, and it's pretty heavy. Next we'll go to the Write in the Rain. Alright, writes pretty easily. I'm not a big fan of the push button. It just drives me nuts because I can't ever keep it closed, it seems like. Otherwise, I really like this one. Next up, the Smith & Wesson, or excuse me, next up the Schrade. And we'll just leave it open for the writing tests here. Writes pretty easily. Your hand, at least my fingers, are right on those threads, so that might be an issue. It's super long and not lightweight. It's not super heavy, but you know you're holding something. I guess we'll jump to the Uzi. Looks like I had to scribble a little bit to get it started. It actually writes pretty smoothly, but this flat is driving me nuts already. Let me see if I can move the clip. Okay, I can move the clip over to in front of that flat, and that won't drive me so nuts. Right away, that was weird. Otherwise, I like this one. It has a large feel, but kind of clunky, kind of like a real Uzi. Stylus doesn't work. The Pico, and I'm assuming you can put the cap on. No, that's interesting. You can't put the cap on backwards. I guess they're assuming it's going to be on a key ring. Had to write a little bit to get it started. It's a little awkward writing a little small there, and I just dropped it. But otherwise, it wrote fairly decent. Next up, a Sharpie. Obviously, not a fair comparison. Just going through the motions there. Next up, we'll do the Tom Anderson, and it's got that glob of snot there. And that picked off fairly easily. Wow, that one actually writes pretty well. I think they're probably, if they're not all using the same insert, it sure does seem like they are. And then last up, I guess, is the Smith & Wesson. I gotta notice the first thing is that it doesn't lock up real well going back on here. Alright, so this was a little bit of a test to see how well they write and how messy my handwriting is. Keep in mind I type almost all the time. Anyway, the Smith was actually fairly comfortable. I'm not going to complain at all. And even though it doesn't seem like it, it seems that the cap is staying on there. So I really like that one so far. Little clunky, but not too bad. I'm not sure what's going on with that clip. Not bad. Little weird to hold on to, but I'm not giving up hope on this one. It writes pretty well. A little weird. I'm not going to give up on this one yet. I like it, and darn it, if this thing wasn't so expensive, it would still be in the running, but it looks like it might be falling out of the running already. None of these, it doesn't write any better than the rest of these, let's put it that way. So next up, it'll actually be a writing test on a bunch of different surfaces. So we'll just do quickly the same thing here. I can't imagine there's going to be any difference. And I could probably talk here, but I'm trying to absorb what it's like holding these different pens. Alright, so no big difference on Write in the Rain paper or regular paper. Not that that's very amazing. I wouldn't expect it to be any different, but I figured it was worth testing. And now we'll test a little bit different. If I go into the copier paper, and I'm just going to see if there's any noticeable perceived difference in the way that they flow over this paper or the way that they show up. So far, I don't know if anyone would be able to determine which one was which there. Looks like they all wrote just fine. And then we'll do the same with, this was the Write in the Rain copy paper. This is a piece of the National Geographic. Wow, it glides over this paper as if it had like a wax coating on it. All of these so far have written very smoothly on this. Wow, if this wasn't so expensive, I'd always want to write on it. It's like pretty neat. Now this, was that supposed to do that? Huh, this one seems to have a bit of a movement when I write. So I don't know if it looks much different, but it certainly writes much different on this National Geographic paper compared to the Write in the Rain. The National Geographic paper feels like it's half again as thick, so that's a whole other review. But so far, I can't say any of them stand out